regard to the statement yesterday by the chairman of the IBC insinuating that he can postpone or cancel the forthcoming by-elections in Olkalau next week. With me is Andrew Muge, my lawyer, and the Honorable Jerry Minor, also my lawyer, whom I've consulted very closely on this very worrisome statement by the chairman of IBC, because it has serious implications to the next general elections that are scheduled to happen next year in accordance with the 2010 Constitution. Tomorrow, 11th July 2026, marks exactly 1 year since the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission commissioners were sworn into an assumed office. We have not once, not twice expressed our displeasure with omissions and commissions of the IBC. Over and above the constitutional and legal professions, winning the trust of the people of Kenya, who are supreme, remains paramount. You are well aware of the trust issues the people of Kenya have with the IBC commissioners ahead of the 10th August 2027 general elections, from the way they were appointed and the perception that they are proteges of William Ruto. Article 81 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 outlines the core principles that govern the country's electoral system and process. It dictates that all elections and elected public bodies must comply and ensure the freedom of citizens to exercise their political rights. Ensure that all elections are free and fair. Ensure that elections are conducted in secret ballots, free from violence, intimidation, improper influence or corruption. Ensure that elections are transparent and administered in an impartial, neutral, efficient, accurate, and accountable manner. Further, Article 38 of the Constitution of Kenya protects the political rights of all citizens, establishing the framework for democratic participation by guaranteeing 1, the citizens' freedom of political choice; 2, the citizens' right to vote without unreasonable restrictions; 3, the citizens' right to express their will and participate in free, fair, and regular elections. Unfortunately, the IBC has fallen short and has failed to uphold and apply the laws of this great republic. The IBC has decided to turn a blind eye and not to be accountable or impartial. We are able to demonstrate to Kenyans how this has been achieved by using a case example. On 27 November 2025, election violence was witnessed in the by-elections held in the constituencies of Bere North, Malava, and Narok Ward Township. Mr. Chairman of IBC, your silence and tolerance of the electoral malpractices prove that you cannot be trusted to deliver free, fair, and transparent and verifiable elections. There was brutal violence, outright voter bribery by the state, among other malpractices, and your silence was very loud. There was extreme violence in Kaspul Kabondo. In the Murwa Dikir, the recently concluded by-elections, all meetings were conducted in the evenings and late in the night. The chairman and his commissioners were aware of what was going on, and they never spoke. Unfortunately, since you are state playbook masters and UDA sympathizers, a peaceful campaign period in Olkalau has made you too clever all of a sudden after realizing that UDA is losing the election. Do not take Kenyans for a ride. Olkalau has been very peaceful. There has not been violence of any magnitude that could cause anybody to cancel or postpone an election. There has only been 3 incidences that are minor. 1, the defacing of posters belonging to the UDA candidate and the DCP candidate. On 1st July 2026 at the Royal Garden Hotel in Olkalau Town, Nyandarua County, officers and staff of DCP were brutally attacked by police officers and UDA officials. Their phones and other materials were taken away. 8 reports and statements at Olkalau police station were made, and to date, no action has been taken. The notorious Nairobi Sierra gang of rogue police officers that attacked me and Christians at Wetima Church in January is the same group that was led by Mathira Member of Parliament, Eric Wamombi, to attack DCP officials at the Royal Garden Hotel. So, Mr. Ethokon, whatever violence that has been witnessed in Olkalau has been perpetrated by the state. You cannot therefore say you can punish the people of Olkalau by postponing their elections on account of violence, whereas it is the government that has created violence in Olkalau. The people of Olkalau are very peaceful. All the candidates are working together and nobody is fighting each other. The little violence that has been witnessed in Olkalau has been done by the state. And we wonder, Mr. Ethokon, you never condemned violence in Bere. You didn't condemn violence in Kaspun Kabondo. You didn't condemn violence in Malaba. How come you are condemning non-existent violence in Olkalau and threatening to postpone an election for non-existent violence? What is in Kalau is anticipated violence, and I'll be explaining. All this violence is being organized by Mathira Member of Parliament, Eric Wamumbi, and his wife, and Moses Kuria, using goons brought to Olkalau from outside the constituency. As we speak, this morning, the Nairobi Sierra team is in a hotel in Olkalau under the command of Eric Wamumbi and his wife, pt1. And this morning, a team of heavily armed officers have left Muranga to join this team at the request of pt1, headed by Felix Mayu, an officer from Maragua Police Station. All those officers are heavily armed in plain clothes, and they are going to join the Nairobi Sierra in preparation of violence in Olkalau. What we are saying is that the violence is by the state. The people of Olkalau are very peaceful, and there is no violence between the people of Kalau among themselves. Yesterday, additionally, ahead of 16th July 2026 by-elections, IBC commissioners are dining with the state to procure and deliver an unfair and predetermined by-election result in favor of the ruling party's candidate. Please allow the people to decide. You have openly defied all odds to call to order an election of open bribery by the state led by cabinet secretaries, principal secretaries, and state officers who were actively involved in the by-election campaign and breaching the constitutional and legal provisions of Article 75 and 77 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and Section 14 of the Election Offences Act 2016. The world and the citizens of Kenya have all witnessed the brazen breaches of the constitutional and legal safeguards aimed at guaranteeing a free and fair and verifiable election. Let me pay special tribute to the media that has captured the wanton bribery by state officials in Olkalau. All the newspapers, all the TVs, I want to thank the media. And the chairman of IBC is now complaining there is bribery in Olkalau and saying he can cancel the election because there is bribery. Yet the media has been capturing every day, mainstream media, social media, everybody has seen the wanton bribery going on in Olkalau by state officials. Mr. Chairman, how can you threaten to cancel an election because state officials are bribing people, yet you have the law to stop them? You have not summoned any of them. You have not ordered them out of Olkalau. Why do you want to punish the people of Olkalau? Over the last few weeks, state officers and top government officials are on the Olkalau by-election campaign trail and on a bribery spree. Indeed, the government officials are actually more than the voters in Olkalau. Helicopters are almost causing accidents in the air. We need to establish a traffic department to control traffic in the air because of the helicopters in Olkalau. The number of fuel guzzlers in Olkalau. All hotels are full. There is no accommodation facility in Olkalau because of the government presence. And they are all doing bribery during daylight and at night. Miraculously and curiously, the government of Kenya's development agenda has crystallized in one constituency at the same time. And we have seen the issues of government tokens, including mattresses, gas cylinders, cash handouts, water pipes, purchase of IDs, police intimidation, violence. In fact, even a train has been given to the people of Olkalau. And 2 days ago, they even have received boats in a dam where there is no fish or fingerlings. The chairman of IBC, Mr. Erastus Ethekon, has remained silent when William Ruto has used over 1 billion Kenya shillings in cash in bribes and put 10 billion shillings of taxpayers' funds through his agents to bribe voters until the election in favor of the UDA candidate. After all these schemes have failed and the government polling machinery have reported that the UDA party candidate is performing dismally, IBC gets instructions and through their chairman, Mr. Erastus Ethekon, threatens to postpone or cancel the elections. And we are asking Mr. Ethekon, where were you? This bribery has gone on for the last 2 months. Why didn't you stop it? There is no violence in Olkalau. Violence was in Malava, you never stopped it. Violence was in Narok, you never stopped it. In Kaspul, Kabondo, people were killed, you didn't stop the election. You are now being used by William Ruto to postpone the election because he knows he faces a humiliating defeat next week. Please, Mr. Ethekon, treat the people of Kenya with some bit of intelligence. Where have you been? Do you live in this country? Bribery by state officials is documented every day. And then you come up yesterday to cry. You are crying to Kenyans to do what? You are the one in charge of IBC. You are the one who is supposed to stop bribery by state officials. Or you are saying all you can do, you are helpless, is stop the election. Oh, there is violence. Which violence? By the state. Ask the IG to stop violence. The people of Olkalau are peaceful. You know, IBC is clearly biased. The Honorable Wajiko Moya, the MP for Kipipiri, gave a caution that IDs are being bought by UDA for the purposes of giving them to outsiders to come and vote, and asked the people of Olkalau not to allow outsiders to come and vote in Olkalau. And IBC hastily summoned her and tried her in her absence and without her lawyers. Yet, UDA has been bribing people openly. You have never raised a finger. Instead of summoning them, you want to stop the election. Give us a break. The following state officers and government officials have openly been involved in electoral campaigns and malpractice in Olkalau, among others. The Honorable Alice Wahome, Cabinet Secretary for Lands, Public Works and Housing and Urban Development. William Kabogo, Cabinet Secretary for Information, Communications and Digital Economy. Davis Chirchil, Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport. Rebecca Miano has actually left her office. She has put up an office in Olkalau. She even tried to summon the ACK Church for a seminar on tourism to bribe them to campaign for the UDA candidate. And the ACK parish minister stood her off. She had called them for a seminar in Naivasha. I don't know what ACK church officials have to do with the tourism in Kenya. She has left her office. She is actually working from Olkalau. Nixon Coril, the Principal Secretary, State Department of Lands. Patrick Mariru, Principal Secretary, State Department for Defense. Alex Wachira, very notorious. He has even removed the transformers from Bere and taken them to Olkalau. The transformers he took to Bere during the Bere by-election, he has now removed them and taken them to Olkalau. Joseph Bogwa, the Principal Secretary for State Department for Roads. All roads in Nyandarua, in all the neighboring constituencies, have stalled. But in Olkalau, he is there launching routes. Mary Mudhoni, the Principal State Secretary for Public Health, she was having, with Aden Duale, a medical camp and demanding IDs before people are treated. I don't know what an identity card would inform when you are treating somebody. I thought they are supposed to take their blood pressure, their temperature, and their sugar levels. But instead of doing that, finding out what is their BP, what's their sugar levels, what is their temperature, instead they are taking the ID, which means the whole thing was a fake. They just wanted to take IDs from the gullible people of Olkalau. Anan Wangombe, the Principal Secretary for State Department for Gender. Mr. Philip Mainga, the Managing Director of Kenya Rails Corporation. He brought a fake train in Olkalau after 45 years absence, and it knocked a few vehicles because there are no signs anywhere. I'm asking the people of Olkalau to avoid that train. It's a disaster in the making. Charles Karondo, the chairman of the Communication Authority, he has come to Olkalau for 3 months. He's the one actually doing voter bribery at night. When he's not in Olkalau, he's in Keharu, where he has been the sponsor to oppose Dende Nyoro. He's the one actually mapping all the homes for voter bribery. Mr. Ethokon, before you can threaten to cancel the election because of voter bribery, can you summon these state officers and pull them out of Olkalau and let the law take its course? Don't be a crybaby. Why are you crying about voter bribery when the culprits are known and the law is in place? What are you telling the people of Kenya? You are crying to Kenyans to do what? You are the one who is supposed to take action against these people. Then you are shouting, oh, this election I can cancel, there is too much voter bribery, oh, there could be violence. You are the one charged with the responsibility of managing elections in Kenya, not the Kenyan people. What do you want the people of Olkalau to do? I just wonder, yesterday, the fake deputy president and leader of majority Kevani Ichung'wa summoned deputy county commissioners in Gilgil and told them to create an infrastructure today to meet chiefs and assistant chiefs who shall be given money for bribery on Sunday night and election night to go and bribe people in every house. So the chiefs and the assistant chiefs will be meeting Kindiki and Ichung'wa today. And Ichung'wa did tell them that they are in charge of IBC. In fact, Ichung'wa went ahead to tell the government officials that they have bought a house in Karen for Mr. Ethokon at 80 million. Ethokon did not have a house in Nairobi, he was living in Turkana. I want to challenge the chairman of IBC to confirm whether he has moved to Karen and how did he purchase this house. He has been in office for a year. His income is not sufficient to buy a house for 80 million. Is it true what Ichung'wa is saying, that the government has bought you a house in Karen so that you can bangle the 2027 general election? And Ichung'wa told the officers that they have instructed Ethokon to make sure that the UDA candidate is announced, the winner, even if he loses, even if people die. I want to challenge Ethokon. When did you move to Karen? You came from Turkana. You came to my neighborhood at a house of 80 million. Where did you get the money to buy a house for 80 million? It must be what Ichung'wa is saying, that they bought you the house and you do what they want. Mwangi Kujori has been calling the presiding officers and threatening them, offering them money to bangle the election. And those who refuse, he is intimidating them. That he has instructions to make from William Ruto to make sure the election is won. And he is telling them that if they don't help government, they'll face government wrath. I want to thank the returning officer and all presiding officers in Olkalau. So far, they have been very firm. Please don't be intimidated. Kionjore, Ichung'wa, Kindiki, Ruto will take you nowhere. Live up to the oath you have taken to conduct free and fair election in Olkalau. I want to say, Bwana Ethokon, do the right thing. Don't try to postpone this election. Make sure there is no violence. Talk to the IG to make a public statement that goons will not be allowed into Olkalau. Because if there are no goons, the election will be peaceful. The people of Olkalau are extremely peaceful and they don't want violence. During the 25th commemoration of Gen Z protests, we saw police deployment in the city. How come they cannot secure a simple constituency in Olkalau from goons, to the extent that the IBC chair is crying that he needs to postpone elections because of anticipated violence. We are asking IBC to discuss with the IG that plainclothes police officers are not deployed in Olkalau because they are the ones who cause violence. They are the ones who cause violence in Bere. Plainclothes police officers are the ones who cause violence in Narok. They are the ones who are causing violence in Olkalau. They are the ones that Eric Wamumbi and Betty Mine are planning to cause violence in Olkalau. We want the IG to deploy only uniformed police officers in Olkalau so that if they cause violence, people can notice. They can take photographs and videos. We are asking plainclothes police officers to be kept off Olkalau. We are asking the IG to make a public statement that goons from Nairobi, being organized by Moses Kuria, and others will not be allowed into Olkalau. And if goons are kept off Olkalau, we'll have a very peaceful election because the people of Olkalau are peaceful people. I want to end there by saying that there was a meeting on 9th July by the County Security and Intelligence Committee with all the candidates to discuss security. This meeting was postponed indefinitely. We want to know why. Again, 80% of all police officers from Olkalau and Nyandarua have been transferred out of the county and new ones brought. Why? Again, we want to find out why has IBC decided to shut down the voters' register before the Olkalau by-elections? Is it to facilitate people who are not registered to vote? We want the IBC chair to clarify why. They are saying that they are doing some checkup, some checking and updating. But why specifically before Olkalau? So we are saying, Mr. Ethokon, before you threaten to postpone peaceful election, please do your job.